Welcome, everybody, to Broadcast Team Alpha, where we bring you cutting edge conversation while exploring the quantum possibility. And I know I said last week we had one of our favorite guests on, but I have to say it again tonight because we've got this little handful of people that are just our favorites. And we're so happy to have Jeni Ji on. And Augie's going to tell you a little bit about her. But I just want to say happy holidays. Shout out to our friends over at the Conscious Awakening Network. If you've been over there and taken a peek at what's going on there, Sheila and her guides have a really megalithic plan going on there, and it's really impressive. So I do suggest you go take a look over there. And we're streaming there right now. And I wanted to say Happy New Year, right? Everybody's a little edgy, a little edgy. Little uncomfortable, right? A little who gives a flying squirrel, right? We've got all those emotions, right? But the truth is, that's only because we're looking outside of ourselves. We're looking outside of ourselves during those moments. And the truth is, when we look inside and when we realign with who we really are, 2025 is going to be perfect. We will intend it. So Happy New Year early. And Augie, please tell us about our guest.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this because, yes, you said it. Jenny is one of my favorite people to have on because she is so good at what she does. And for those of you that like to surf the internet at the same time, you can find her at soulworkwithjenny.com. And go over there and have a look sometime, either now or later. You're going to like what's over there, and then you're going to get to know her a lot better. I want to say a couple of things about her. And she's a psychic medium, a clairvoyant, and past life akashic record reader. She's a relationship coach, an intuitive life coach, a Canadian TV talk show host for 4 years, and she's a guest a lot of different places, just like this show. So here we are, and she explores the mysteries of the universe, and she finds good things for people that they can actually, I said it, rely on to guide their life, because she is so accurate. I know that because she said some things to me, and yeah, there it go, it happened. So I got good experiences with that. And she also has a column in SF Yoga magazine, and her column is called "Just Ask Jeni Ji." You can go there, find the magazine, and ask her questions, and she'll be back to you. And for right now, I don't want to talk anymore. We want to hear from Jeni. Welcome to the show.
Welcome,
Well,
Jen.
thank you guys. Thank you. It's always so much fun, and I'm always grateful anytime I'm with you or talking to you or part of the show. Truly grateful. Thank you.
So good. You look festive. You look beautiful. You look healthy. I just told everybody that you would be willing to do some mini readings, but they have to put their name, gender, and astrological sign and
Yeah,
their specific question, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
please use capital letters so it's easier to recognize your questions in the chat room.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lynn says that you are looking like the younger version of Mrs. Claus in your red outfit today.
I love red. Like that's my favorite. That's my favorite color. And I know Augie, of course, like loves the red too. But like red is my color. It always has been. So I
You
love
know,
it. Yeah.
I didn't know Mrs. Claus was so hot, so I'm just saying.
Well, I'm not married, so I mean, I'm still waiting for Mr. Claus.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny, it could happen. I just dropped my
Yeah,
mic.
yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? Like it's surrendering the whole situation. I'm not, it's not like a huge issue at all right? I don't need somebody to complete me because it's more or less when you're happy within, you know what I mean? I keep myself very busy and stuff like that anyways. So finding the right person and getting to know that person is what I like to do if there's potential with someone rather than boom, rushing in and that's it. And I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I still think, and my mother used to say, when you're not looking, it's going to happen. And
yeah,
of course, I pushed against that when I was a teenager. I was like, no, I want to go out with him or go out with him. But it is true,
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
just like being you full out, your energy and who you really are catches the right vibe with an equal energy, then it happens. And now I'll have to buy a dress for your wedding. I don't know.
I had a dream actually. I like Teresa Caputo. She's a Long Island medium. I just love her.
Right.
Yeah, and and I had a dream one night. I don't know, maybe like 6 weeks ago. She came into my dream and she told me you're going to marry Mike Myers. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm not saying I'm going to marry Mike Myers, but like who he is and just a lot of the media stuff, it would make sense. But it was just really, she said specifically the name, and I'm like, what? I don't know Mike Myers, right? Like
Well,
he's like the Shag. What do you like this? What do you call it?
no.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious.
I know, but
And there's actually there is a guy that kind of looks like him that I've got my eyes on. Funny enough, but I'm not chasing. I never do, or So
yeah.
it was just very cool of all people. And then she said the first and last name. Like sometimes I'll get a first and last name myself too, right? So it's up to the spirit world, basically.
Yeah. Well, Mike Myers would be a good choice, just saying, because he's smart. He's so funny,
Yeah,
right? He's fit. Yay.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
sense of sense of humor is so important.
yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
important. Yeah. So Jen, what are you seeing coming up in the world? Just a general
Well,
little overview.
whenever I do like predictions and stuff, I actually put my prediction video up on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
2025 predictions. I think it was a couple of weeks ago or so, and I kind of go into the trends and see what I'm picking up on. Right. Like first of all, as we move into 2025, this is a universal 9 year, first of all. So this represents a lot of completion. So what I would first of all tell people is whatever you need to resolve and complete right now, do it now and move into 2025 with ease and such like that. Because it's a major year. We have the year of the snake energy too. Snake energy is all about healing. However, the snake is also very deceitful. So it's really important. You will see this. I mean, we all have seen this. However, especially in 2025, it's like really pay attention to, and it can be anybody. Like media is obvious with what we hear and stuff or whatever. However, it's, even people around you who is not honest, who is deceitful, who, I know when somebody's lying, let's say, and I observe it and then I make changes to end it or just certain things, right? But really, really pay attention to this because we're going to start off in, chaotic energy, and we're going to more so end the year in peace.
Yeah.
You're going to find that as we get closer to the end of this year, there's going to be people because so much is going to happen to them in 2025. They're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go through like a spiritual quest. And even I was talking to Nori just before we went live here, where I'm looking at going, and for me, that's like it's all connected, spiritual, and a lot of different things. So it's really important not to rush in with a bang into 2025 because there's a lot of things that are shaky right now. Like we still have like three planets that are at present, Mars, we have like Jupiter and Uranus and such like that. Tells you to kind of slow down, pay attention to what's going on. As we start getting into the year and stuff like that, you're going to be still affected by this new moon on the 30th in Capricorn. And Capricorn, of course, is all about structuring, working, trying to build foundations and such like that. And it's going to also affect different relationships coming up. So relationships can create a really nice bond. You might find that there's a soulmate coming back. Relationships can end or start, all of these things. You're also going to see, one of the biggest things that I saw is even towards even more April. I said this on, I don't know, like one of my videos on YouTube. I was starting to hear it. We've all seen and heard assassination attempts and everything like that. There is going to be another one that you're going to hear about, and it's not going to be on, like Trump, let's say. That's kind of something that continues. It very well could come from, like out of Russia. And the really cool thing about it, or I mean, not really cool thing about it, with Russia, you're going to hear more about it in 2025, right? Of course, there's a lot of hostile and everything like that. There are cures for many different ailments we have, and you might start hearing about cure for cancer, especially lung cancer, and it could very well come from Russia.
Wow.
So that is going to open up even more and more, and you're going to find that more people are going to get drawn for more so to more of the Eastern medicines compared to the Western modalities and such like that. And especially around June or so, you're going to find that more secrets are going to be exposed. I mean, when is it? It's coming out anyways. However, especially a lot more corruption is going to happen because you will see how there's going to be different like companies and businesses and such like that are going to be merging together as one. Like I actually just recently heard, I didn't predict this, but I just recently heard that like Honda and Nissan, they're going to be coming together as one.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
have you noticed that in, certain places you go into, like in a store, let's say, like a Walmart, just for an example, all of a sudden now you're seeing different departments in there with different other, stores
Interesting.
coming together. So we're all going to be branching together because we've had enough of the crap by the so-called leaders and how everything is done and run and stuff like that. So you're going to see more and more in that coming out. You know, our water has also been rising for quite some time. We've all seen different things and stuff like that. So you'll hear about more floods and everything like that. And as our solar flares come, it's going to start crashing more with technology, electronics, and weather disruptions, and so on and so on. However, there's a lot of new technology coming out in India. Like India very well is going to start thriving with the IT and tech and such like that. However, because it's very overpopulated, it's going to cause problems with people trying to find jobs because of overpopulation and such like that. So IT, there's a lot of stuff with space, India is working through. That's going to be really, enhanced and such like that. New developments in such an amazing way. And one of the other concerns I have is like the fires. Australia again could get, it's like prepare for bushfires and a lot more fires that could get a lot more violent, as I call it. So certain industries, like mining and like agriculture and such like that, there's going to be certain growth with that, even other currencies. And it's really important to really listen to, like your intuition, because there's going to be a lot of disruptions with transportation, like airports, railways, roads, and stuff like that, because as all of these upheavals coming out, things are going to get kind of bumpy on the road, as I call it. Like even our animals are calling out. They have been calling out, as I read into the sea animals, how there's a lot of nuclear activity and all of this stuff going on underwater. So, that's why there's been a lot more issues with shark attacks, let's say, and more and more and more, which I talked about, I think, for the past almost 3 years now. So that is going to continue to come up even more and more and more, even more so. And you'll even hear about Elon Musk.
There's a lot about it.
Oh yeah, like like I'm also on Twitter. I have a couple accounts, and I go right after people. And it's interesting because no matter who they are, sometimes they will respond back. It's like you don't like depend on that such like that. He has been working a lot with the military and stuff like that. You're gonna hear more about it. And this is also too why you're gonna hear even more, aliens, like UFO, T and such, because some people have already started getting messages coming through from extraterrestrials and such like that. Like anytime I've started to hear a message from them, I block it out immediately. Like I've had my days, my time. I won't go back to that. Long story, you know, that's a whole
Yeah.
different show to talk about, right? So you also could find like even, spring as well,
Mm.
that one of our, like a world leader very well could be passing away during that time too. So there's going to be a lot of flux with Europe, like our wars. I mean, what's new with that? That's still going to continue, and it's going to be even more intense, especially around Europe.
Mm.
There's going to be I have a lot of concerns around there right now. So you're also going to find that there's going to be like billionaires, millionaires that are going to lose their money because as
Ouch.
they get called out on the deceitfulness, especially the year of the snake, as I mentioned, a lot more will be exposed, even more and more. That's just all going to continue. Like that's just all going to continue. So this is why there's going to be so much coming out that people are going to be like, oh my God, you know what, I just want to go. I have like a friend that has a lot of money, and he's talking about, what, I'm going to buy a town and a lot of acreages. And if you guys want to come out here and get a tent or get a trailer, there you go.
Nice.
You
I
know,
would love an arrangement like that. I would love it. It's
yeah,
funny, Jen, talking about deceitfulness. I was getting my hair done, and I have a friend, who's from this area, and he left, and he didn't want people to know where he went. And I kept in touch with him. So like everybody here is so friendly. So everybody in the salon is talking to each other and listening to each other. And Heidi, who does my hair, says, "Hey, do you know where so and so is?" And I said, uh, no, last I heard he was in a different part of Berkeley, of West Virginia. And I swear to God, time stopped for a minute, and it was like everything went silent, and every person in there knew I was telling a lie. So finally I said, all right, I gotta come clean. I know where he is, but he asked me not to tell anybody where he is. They all knew I was lying, Jen. I could
yeah,
feel it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
I know. I know. And I mean, like even with so many things happening and the amount of people that have been transforming through this whole process the past few years, especially with all the COVID stuff and all of that, as they let go and start seeing the truth and really taking that time for themselves in silence and so on, they're like, you know what, I'm leaving. I just don't want to do this. I'm leaving my career. And especially actually this week right now too, by the way, it's really important because this is going to be a week where you're going to be like, I don't need approval from you anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who do you think you are? Like
I
this
like
week,
that.
like I just did a video on that, so it should be out, anytime now, realistically. So it's like, who do you think you are? This is who I am. I know my worth even more and more and more and more, especially with this new moon energy that we have coming on. And January 1st, especially, it's like a super duper powerful day, like master number day and all of that too. So there's going to be a lot of like changes. And also because we have a solar year, like 2024, 2025, it's a solar year. So certain people that were struggling to get pregnant, they all of a sudden found themselves pregnant. So if you are wanting to have a child 2025, you very well could get pregnant. I had that happen to a friend who had miscarriages, a couple of miscarriages, and she had a baby, and everything just went well. It was like everybody was really shocked about it, you know? So it's a
Yeah.
year to be careful too, because there's going to be like more violence and deaths, and it's important to like really listen to that energy of what your soul is saying, because being around certain crowds at certain times to go from not so good to explosives. There's going to be more explosions this, in 2025 as well, as
Yeah.
people are trying to get their power out and their ego and everything like that. So it's really careful. That's why it's like even next year, um, certain times if I want to travel, let's say, I'll be like, okay, let me see what month that is. Okay, when is this happening? When is that happening? Okay, I'm not going to go during then, because it can cause a lot of upheaval and it can cause a lot of disruptions. And if not, gotta regret I went there for many different reasons. So it you'll see how many people are going to be like transforming and shedding their old skin with the year of the snake. The snake is also rebirth, transformation, transmutation, rebirth, all of that.
Yeah.
If you are listening to
Yeah.
your soul and your heart and you're in alignment. If like we all have the ego and the angel, right? Like the devil and the angel on the shoulders and such like that. And it just really depends. It's like, okay, yeah, I'd really like to say this and this and this and that. However, you know what? I'm just going to sit back and observe. I'm just going to forgive that person, and so I can move on, with more peace and such like that. I don't have to interact with them anymore or whatever like that, because there's going to be forgiveness, a lot of forgiveness, because there already has been, especially when we all got divided, facts compared to not facts, all of that. As more things are happening, truth are coming out, people are like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah, and you might even hear too, by the way, like transportation in the air with electric, like EVs flying, like planes electronically, just certain things flying. That's the thing with Elon. He's very advanced. There's a lot of, behind the scenes, of course, right, that he's been working on and doing. So you might actually see or hear more about that. 2028, I'm really hearing strongly with that, even more so too. But you might even see that, oh my God, look, they're doing there.
so
You know,
cool. George
that's very,
Jetson.
yeah,
I,
But
yeah.
you
Jetsons,
know,
the
you know
Jetsons.
what? I love what you're saying about really being going quiet, going more inward and being more. It's so important now to be attuned to our soul, because you could go ahead and look, you've got the gift, you can look at the months and you know what things are coming. But I know you, Jen, if you wake up one day and you've got a knot in your gut and you've got plane tickets, I know you're not going to get on that
No,
plane, because you've got
yeah, yeah.
the
yeah,
voice. And we
yeah,
all have.
I kind
yes, we
I,
all do have
I
that.
I kind of feel also that the energy is accelerating, because you mentioned something earlier, and that I think I know about 3 or 4 people here in Tucson that is quitting their job. They can't handle the job
Yeah.
anymore, and they start doing something for themselves. Do you feel like between now and early part of the next year that this is a good time to
Yes,
just say,
yes,
I'm done?
change.
I'm
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because of these retrogrades, it shakes things up. So this is going to go on until mid-February. So this is why, like, I brought up this new moon. Like, new moons are more powerful than a full moon, and this one is stepping it up. And especially like with the Venus energy this week, it's going to
Mhm.
shake things up with relationship for the good. It could draw you closer. You could be like, this is my soul group. They're supporting me in a positive way. However, these people are not. And not relationships are with jobs and so on. And this is why this week, like, you got to listen to my Cosmic Vibes weekly series on my YouTube channel, because I talk about what's going to happen every single day with energy, right?
Cool.
Mm.
So this is a week where people are going to be like, you know what? You can't talk to me like that anymore. You can't do this to me anymore. I know my worth. Like, enough is enough, right? So this is when people are going to be like, well, hey, you know what? This is the time to set an intentions. I've had enough. We're just like a stone's throw away from January 1st. New Year's resolutions, and people are going to be like, enough. So
Mhm.
even like this entire week, it's going to be very transforming, like very transforming week.
Yeah.
enough is enough. And
Yeah.
I know I need to make this. And we can talk, oh, yeah, I want to do all these changes.
Yeah.
However, everybody, if you're, listening and paying attention, like to what you're feeling, your gut, intuition, whatever, you're going to be like, oh my God, I know I need to make that change. Like, oh my God, I have to leave my job. I'm going to like, move. People are going to be moving. So you might even find too this week that you're going to be like, you know what? Even last week, that as you're visiting people during the holidays, you can be like, wow, I really like this neighborhood, or I really like that
Absolutely.
state or province or country. You know what?
Yeah.
I've had enough. I want that new start.
Yep.
So let's start looking into jobs out there. Let's start looking into, moving and stuff, because more people are going to get even more and more drawn to remote work, virtual work, all of that, because they're like, I've had enough of getting treated by this. You can't treat me like that, like all that approval and control and everything. And one of the really kind of neat things is in 2026, I should have gave a lot more prediction. Another video I'll do. But anyways, you will understand even in a more profound level, especially in 2026, who you truly are even more so, and why you experienced 2024 and 2025. Like, you will see in 2025 as well, all the hard work that you have done this year in 2024, you're going to see that starting to pay off. Like certain people, well, I wasn't successful where I was successful, or, like whatever it is. And it's like, you know what? We all have our own journey and path, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So it's going to push people to that. I'm done. Like I'm done, and the house prices, those are going to start also going down as well. There's going to be a
Right.
lot more demands for like teachers and so and so and so. Like
Right.
there's going to be like a bigger earthquake and tsunami and such like that. It's like I can feel it, like the ground's like this at times with certain places I zoom in and such, right? So
Mhm.
certain places I want to go check out, I'm like, you know what, I'm feeling kind of the ground kind of like over here like this and over here like that. So we get those pre-signs with things, and
Yeah.
it's all about the universe has had enough of how
Yeah.
we're treating it. It's like
Yeah.
nuclear energy. What happens when there's nuclear energy? My power is better than yours. Ha ha ha. You know what I mean? That greed and low energy, as I call it. Right.
Yeah.
What happens is the minute you send out explosions and fires and toxic fuels and nuclear, our energy instantaneously changes on the earth.
Yeah. And
Instantaneously. Oh yeah, but that, Jenny, that happened on the other side of the world. It makes no difference, because energy is energy.
That's right.
And the
That's right.
inflation,
what?
because of, it's high because the government spends all the money. Even Trudeau will be gone. Thank God. I'll be celebrating when he's gone.
Yeah. What about the people that really want to quit their job and don't know what
Well,
to do?
well,
Is
I
there
mean,
a
like,
special industries or something that has maybe a little better chance at things?
well, industry or no industry, I always tell people, when you go after what you're truly interested in, passionate about, you are going to find your soul's purpose. Because when you find your soul's
Yeah.
person, what, I want to do that, I want to do that, then you will be successful.
Mhm.
If
That's right.
if you follow, well, I better go be a dentist, because that industry is going to do well. So you go to school and you hate it. So teachers,
Exactly.
you're going to see you're coming out more. And there's also going to be so-called mentors and things like that people used to be drawn to, who are not real, as I call it. Authenticity is going to be shown that it's not, and so on. So there's going to be a lot of people, and they have been already, like scrambling and scrambling. Wow, that person's really fake. Their energy is really fake. All of that kind of stuff. So it's going to pull people into more soul searching, and what you're passionate about, start doing. You might have to take like a job to keep it going until something gets going, but like technology, as I mentioned, like India, but that's anywhere, right? Like all of anybody who's like more involved with spirituality and such like that. teaching is like really, really, really big, like really, really big. People are going to be talking a lot more. And, for
Yeah.
those people, you're going to start facing your fears even more, because people especially are going to want that peace on earth. You're going to find people are going to be more compassionate, empathetic, and so on. Education is going to be really popular. That's why teachers are going to be more busy. So if you want to be a teacher or start teaching classes with your own knowledge or whatever, 2025 is the year to do that, because there's going to be a lot of social justice and, environments that, we've had enough of, like peeps, our animals getting poisoned, that we have to eat them, and just so many different things all like that. More is going to get exposed, and so on.
You know what I
So
noticed? You know what I noticed, Jen? Because I get multiple emails a day asking me to come back into the nursing field,
yeah, you do
begging.
so well.
But what I'm really seeing that's so cool is now they're having to move people around because of the great resignation, right? All of those nurses walked
Yeah,
around and said, sorry.
I know.
So now they're using med techs. You can go to school to be a med tech like in 6 months,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
using you for more intense work. So
yeah,
it's really
yeah,
interesting,
yes,
and you can be an LVN like in a year and a half, and they're even offering special um, grants for
yeah,
seniors to
yeah,
come back to work.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because like with certain people, for an example, that like especially in the medical field, you know what I mean, that I'm not getting vaxxed as an example. Well, you get fired. You're gonna have the same problem at the hospice, and I'm like, it's time for me to go, right? I'm not vaxxed. That's the way it is. That's just me, right?
Right.
So what happens is we've lost a lot of staff. We've lost doctors. We've lost. I mean, one of my big clients is really well known doctor. That's all I'm going to say in New York. So, there's a lot of stuff going on. And,
Mm.
it's like, wow, we miss our staff, and, we need to get more staff coming back, and so on. So the health industry is changing, and everything like that, and it's really important just to kind of not rush into things, because this, as we enter into even the first week, or I mean, January and February, look back to 2017. You might kind of see, okay, what was going on then? What was I
Mm.
doing, or what did I want to change? You might find some similarity themes
Mm.
in that are going to be coming back, where it's like, now I want to do this and that will end or start, which will affect it with that new moon that's coming up here on the 30th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I,
so
I see now that I see now we're down at the bottom of the hour, and for those of you that joined us late, we are talking with Jeni Cousins, and this is getting interesting because in the second hours, if you have any questions for her,
we have
type it
questions.
into. Yeah, we probably have questions already, I suppose. And type it in capital letters so we can recognize the questions more so among other comments. And this is going to be fun.
Absolutely. You ready, Jen?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oksana is a Gemini, and any potential with a romantic relationship with the person abroad for me, please, in 2025.
There's okay, so this is the year of the snake, of course, right? So snake is all about really paying attention to what doesn't feel right. I do see, actually, mind you, that there is somebody that is a long distance away, and it's kind of like that chemistry. It's very kind of like it goes back to another lifetime between these two. So it's really important to really pay attention to your gut instinct of what is not working, and don't brush it aside. So the bottom line is there potential? Absolutely. You know what? There's so much more involved with that. And I mix in past life Akashic records. And because this is kind of more personal, because there's a lot more karmic situations that is connected between them. I don't like to give out a lot of personal information because it can embarrass that person as well. What I am saying is just pay attention to kind of like the red flags, right? There is love there, yes. There is chemistry there, yes. And I keep on hearing, just without going into lots of details, be careful of a third party.
That sounds like a good warning. We
Yes.
have from our favorite Margaret. Margaret is a Gemini. She's female. Any big events or changes for me in 2025?
I'm not going to go into all of these things that are going to happen. No, that's like a full blown up reading, right? But like what I am hearing more so is, 2025 opens up to, of course, you wanting to make changes as well. And there are different people. It's interesting. Here's the snake energy coming through right away again. Pay attention to certain people around you that are not being honest with you. And you already have that feeling and knowing within. Because if you start continuing doing things for other people, what's going to happen? They're just going to continually take advantage of you, continually taking you for granted, and you're going to burn out even more and more and more. So, because of that, I would circle be careful with your health. Be
Good.
very mindful about your health. Be very mindful because of the snake energy, as I call it, of people around you that, I want you to do this 100 times over. They're going to keep on nagging you and everything like that. And I'm also hearing an energy of a male coming around, um, that you might kind of find mid year, like a connection with, even more so. I'm liking this vibe. So don't
Cool.
chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't.
All right. I may
So,
have to
but
I have to buy two dresses for the weddings. No, just kidding. Um, David Howard is an Aquarius and he's male, and he asks, "Will my financial finances improve in 2025?"
yes, you're going to
Yay!
have a really, really good year,
Yeah,
with your finances, and it's real because you have that smart intelligence, within you, David.
great.
So it's really important because I know you're very focused. Set those goals, long-term goals, short-term goals. Be very specific and detailed, and it's more important to what goals you want to work towards. Keep it quiet. I'm literally seeing this is going to be like you're going to get more recognition for the work that you're doing. Your bank account is going to go up more. You're going to be really focused more with your career that year. So yeah, you will be, like really, really successful. There's a few other things around you that I have some concerns with, that could cause a little bit of roadblocks. Um, again, it's a little private, right? So, but yeah, you will be successful.
Yay! He is so brilliant. Lisa M is female. She's a Scorpio, and she's wondering, "Will I make a job change anytime soon?"
Yeah, you will actually. And I just right away started hearing, even before you even finish the rest of that, there is someone that is around you who's passed on, of course. And I just literally kept hearing, know your worth, know your worth. And this week you might get pushed with, like, I've had enough. I do see that job change coming, absolutely, yes. And I'm also hearing travels, and like, be open. It depends what you want. Because there very well will be like even an opportunity for you to change your career and like go somewhere far away if you're ready to move. So it
Yeah.
depends on what you want. So really start writing down what you're drawn towards. Don't worry about how or anything like that. Just start writing it down because you're very intuitive, very, very, very intuitive, very creative as well.
Linda um, is female. She's an Aquarius. She's wondering about the potential for the finances to move to what she considers her home.
Okay, finances to move to her home. I'm seeing a change, like yeah, like a change. If you're looking to have a change of a location, I do see that. I do see you getting things more structured, like more grounded, more, okay, let me look at this, and that. And it's like just really, really focus on yourself and do what it takes to get there. And because you will definitely make this change for yourself. But again, you have to really just focus on yourself. Like we have other people around us and so on, but it's like focus on yourself. It's like, okay, what am I doing today? Right? Let's block some time out because I have to focus on this and this and that to get there. I keep on hearing like like even like just be really open because you'll be surprised if you're really open because what you thought you might really want, you might not. You might say, oh, I don't know if this is what I want. So be really, really open. Be really open. Spring to summer, I'm hearing being circled.
Very good. Very nice. Denise is a Libra, and she's wondering about finances or what's in store for her in 2025. Please and thank you.
Like it's really important that you do focus on your finances, is what I'm hearing. If you start really focusing on your finances and let go of these distractions around you, uh, you know, boundary setting, I'm really hearing, because out of anything more, you got to set stronger boundaries in order to get these goals squashed, in order to get your goals going. Because if you don't, if you're getting pulled back, it's going to be really hard to, you know, do certain things because you're going to be so distracted by all of these other things that are going on. Like we all have to set certain boundaries with people and situations, or else we get pulled down, we get pulled back, and we don't get an opportunity to really work on our goals or accomplish things. So I keep on hearing that even more so. And it's like I would even start doing daily mantras because I'm hearing a lot of negative energy. It's like that vortex around you that you need to work on and let go. So, yeah.
Mhm. Cool. Cool. Let's see. Um,
May 2025, just be kind of careful. Just everybody in general, really, around that time. Things could get a little shaky, by the way.
yeah, there's a lot of chat going on, so give me one moment. Yeah,
No worries.
Oksana and Oksana, we got you, right? Or there are two of you. Hold on. Um, I'm gonna ask, this may be Oksana again, I think it is, about the distant romance. Okay, so we did get her.
Yeah,
Renee is an Aquarius.
my
Um,
Aquarius.
and she just said it seems like there's a lot of Aquarians here.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Aquarius with Aquarius rising. I'm with you. All right, let's see. How quirky do you have to be Aquarius with Aquarius rising? I
Oh,
mean,
my best friend
sure,
Terry was Aquarius. We got along like he was. Oh my God, it was great.
so
You
quirky.
know? Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
So
Jamie,
yeah,
Jamie, um,
weather concerns as well too, by the way. I mean that's nothing new really, but just be really accountable to really take a look at before
yeah,
booking, like like we can book flights ahead of time, of course, but it's like this. I wouldn't rush and book a flight like a year from now or certain things like that. It's really important to kind of, like go with the flow really of booking things or whatever, because there's so many kind of last minute seat sales anyways that somebody could really book, you know what I mean? So unless you have to, I get that. I get
yeah,
that, right?
yeah. Jamie, Jamie is a female. She's a Pisces, and she is struggling at the moment with financials, relationship, and job with about 15 question marks. So she's really in
Yeah, so so
All
basically what you
three.
have to do is you have to focus on what's your priority. You have to really focus on what is it that you truly, truly, truly want. So whenever we kind of like, what do I want with this and that, you really, really, really got to start creating a vision board. Like this week is the week, the 30th with the new moon, as I'm saying that, and also with the New Year's resolution and just the way it is. I would start writing down what kind of job do you want? Be realistic. You're very creative, like you have all of this like this beauty inside of you. Follow what you're really, really passionate about because your relationships, it's going to be really hard to get things really solidified or grounded in that because you're too focused on everything else. But what do you want? What do you want? What's going to make you happy? So this is where it's like, you know what, you have to work on what you want because it's like, oh my God, I can't find a job. Well, I could go find a job at Walmart, let's just say, just as an example. I'm not saying go there, right? But you have to know what you want, what direction you have to work on. And that's why it's like, what's going to happen to me in all these different areas? Like, that's a real full blown out reading, right? With a lot more detail of what there's a lot of roadblocks I'm hearing in front of you with all of that. So
Mm.
there's a lot of inner work that really needs to be done and so on. And I know how to remove roadblocks and such like that as well. So,
You're the best.
there's so much more involved with that.
No, you're the best. K-Town, well, hang on, I just lost it. This is so cute. K-Town Cosmic Gypsy. And I can barely see his picture, but he looks kind of cute. 58 male, Sagittarius, will I find my soulmate?
Honestly, um, 2025 for you is very, very much going to be related around success, business, expansion with like work, career. I am seeing somebody coming, and I just heard a cruise for some reason. You very well could meet somebody towards more so the end of the year, and it could be very well on your travel somewhere if you're planning on traveling. But honestly, I don't feel 2025 for you as a year of your soulmate. I do see a soulmate coming in for you, but it's not in 2025. So you're gonna see how you're gonna be like, gosh, I would let that go. Start writing down the specifics qualities that you're looking for to find your person. Do I see you getting married? Actually, on a beach. Actually, I just saw you walking on a beach.
Nice.
Really cool ceremony and everything like that, right? But it's not going to be 2025 that you're going to get married. Your soulmate definitely is still with someone right now, so it's not the right time for you. So focus on and it'll just naturally happen. You're going to be focused on your work, but it could be a really, really good year for expansion and money and getting more work recognition and so on
Yeah,
for you, like abundance. So
that's so
yeah.
cool. So cool. Um, Kim is a female. She's Taurus. Please let me know when you think I will move to a new home. Thank you.
I just heard May being circled immediately. So the interesting thing about right now is, like especially that we're in like this season here, like where I'm at anyways, it's winter, where everybody else with the solstice, it could be your summer or whatever. So what seeds that you're planting right now, so if this is winter for you, the same, right? What seed you're going to plant right now, you very well could see that coming through in the summer. So I would start writing down, specifically what are you looking for in where you want to move, right? And be very specific. What area, what city, town, what do you want in it? Is it an apartment? Is it a house? Is it, like all of that kind of stuff? Be very, very specific. I heard May loud, very loudly, like don't rush all right now. It's really important, as I'm stressing out, don't push into 2025 and make these huge, huge, huge decisions. Making decisions, yes, and going after your dreams and everything, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Margaret asks, should I move from the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where you are living right now, like wherever you are currently at right now, you could move away from your location where you're at. You could still be in that environment, but kind of closer away from it, if that makes any sense. You know, because there's going to be some, I have some concerns around the Pacific Northwest myself. Um, so you know, it's like move more to like ground area and such like that. There's going to be a lot of kind of shaky things coming up around
Yeah,
there.
that's a diplomatic way to say it.
Right. So I mean, you know, there's different places I want to check out in the Pacific Northwest. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. So beautiful.
So beautiful. So beautiful. So Jen, I have an interesting question. You know, I have this ability to, like, my spidey senses go off when I detect trends, even small trends and then big trends. Now, I'm suddenly talking to a lot of light workers, healers, you know, psychics who are coming back from the freaking brink of death.
Yeah, to be more of
And
service.
we're all coming together. Why did we all get knocked down at almost the
Well,
same?
well, because we have to figure out what we want. You know what I mean? And who we truly are. Like if I won millions of dollars, I'd be doing the same thing as I'm doing right now. It's just because that's who I am. And because this world, the energy is changing, you're going to find that people are going to want to be more of service in 2025. So, you know, to be of service to somebody could be, you know, anything really that you're drawn to. So as the energy starts shifting and changing, and so that's why it's like even my 2025 prediction video that, you know, that just went out, I called it From Chaos to Peace, because you know this is what people are going to be like pulled, and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. I got to be more me. I got to be more authentic to myself. I want to be more of service to other people. You know, people have seen people like in horrific situations barely
Yeah.
surviving, you know,
Yes.
all of that. So people are going to be more compassionate and empathic, and you know they're awakening. So as people start awakening more, they're going to be drawn more so to more spirituality, or things to be in service and helping humanitarian jobs. That's really going to start to expand and flourish, and such like that. So it's going to cause, you know, so you'll see how the year kind of ends to, wow, you know, like there's a book, what is it, the monk who drove a Ferrari, or I can't remember what it was called. It's an old book, but it's a true story. The guy was a billionaire millionaire, and he gave all of his stuff up to be a monk. The monk in his Ferrari, or I can't remember what it is, but this is what's happening to people as they're awakening, as more truth is being exposed. Because I've been talking about this for quite some time. More people are awakening. Humanity, we're tired of the BS that, you know, is going on out there, and these so-called leaders and so on. People are like, no, I need to really start helping other people, and you know, like showing more compassion and love and kindness and so on. Where you're going to find as well that the snake energy, it's going to show you that certain friends that you thought were friends, or you're going to be like, oh my God, I just saw them for who they really were and are. And that can be really heartbreaking, right? You know, so that's connected with healing. So
Yeah.
people are going to continually be moving away from other people, jobs that they're not connecting with anymore, that they're like, I just don't resonate with this and this and that. Soul tribes, you know, as I always call it, I always have soul tribes. I could travel across the world, not know anybody, and I'll meet different people from my soul tribe. I do all
Yeah,
the time, you know.
you find
So
your people.
yes, always, always. That's one of the things I love about traveling. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool, you know. And yeah, when are you coming back? Or you can stay with us, you know, all of those kinds of things, right? So So more things will be opening and opening, and people are really changing and transforming. Like there's just so much that I observe so many things, and I don't say a lot, because it's too disturbing to talk about, of course,
Yeah.
but it's people are opening up. People have opened up even more and more and more and more. Look at even 9/11, just an example. What happened was, look how New York came together as one. It was horrific. Don't get me wrong. I actually lost a client who worked at the towers and everything, but that was horrific. Like, without words, there's no word for that. However, it brought people together. Look, look what happened. Like New York City, it's what massive. It brought people together as one collective, reaching out, helping each other without even like questioning it.
Absolutely.
So this is, where things are going towards. Like 2026 is going to be amazing, but it's like we have to get rid of the darkness, as I call it, with certain energies are around us,
Mhm.
because we're going to be like, I want to go towards the light more, of being with more light beings, of being with more soul tribe, all of
Yeah.
those things. So when we do that, it can be hard and heartbreaking to let go of other people that are around us, but never wish anybody the worst. I always, when I let people go, I've let more people go, and I've unfriended a lot of different people, and I'm continually doing that. Right. So it's like, I always wish them the best. Really.
Yes.
No matter what they've done or said, or that's irrelevant. That's their journey, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
So,
And you know what I noticed? Of course, I'm in a very magical little town that you really
yeah,
wouldn't expect. Um, People stop and let you out when traffic won't let you out. People
yes.
stop and let you walk past their car when you're walking with your groceries. And
Yeah.
the thing that I finally was able to verbalize it today, because I was watching a man at the gas station. He had two little dogs, and he looked at me and made eye contact. And I'm like, yeah, I see your dogs. I realized that everybody here is aware of
Yeah.
each other. They're taking the time to be aware of each other. And in turn, that's a little bit of taking care of each other, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
sweet.
Is there any, you got any more questions in there, Nori?
I can't get to the chat anymore. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
My
oh,
phone
okay.
blew up.
That we still have like technical issues with, like the
Oh,
postpone from the retrogrades. Like, don't even get me going on
Yeah.
that. Like, but there's so much disruption right now with technology. And this is why, like even over in India, there's a lot of stuff on behind the scenes. It's very strong with their technology. And things are even, going to be expanding more with technology, because we've seen all of the hackers and all of these certain things. That's just going to continue and continue and continue. So what you're going to find is that they're going to make that stronger. Like they're working on that and have been working on it. They always will, but there's going to be so many, like even solar technology advancements coming, in so many different ways. So this is why it's like, whenever you're making decisions, especially when it's a big decision, really think about it. Really think about, okay, what do I truly, truly want? And just, it's like with me, I've talked about 100 different places where I was going to move to for so long, and it's like looking at reality with so many different things and everything, and people be able to move around more because more house prices are going to start coming down as the economy gets better, and so on and so on and so on. You know what I mean? So things are gonna, like the chaotic, the oh my god, the stress, and uh all of these different things. That's, I mean, we're all used to that, right? But
kind of.
well, I know, right? I mean, I never watched the news. Even
Yeah.
when I had to fly and spread my dad's ashes way back in October last year. I go to the airport and I'm like, oh my God, I don't watch the news. Like, I don't know if there's any regulations or any, news. And I'm like, oh my God, like, Jenny, what did you do? So, But yeah, like different inflations and stuff like that, like real estate market and like the stock market and stuff like that. That's really, really going to significantly change.
Mhm. And
It,
Do you have do you have a last advice for someone that won't change? What should be most important in their mind if they really want change?
well, the only way they are going to see changes is to start implementing these changes. We can sit back and say we want to change this and this and that, whatever it is. And I would be like, you know what, that's awesome. That's good for you. All of those things, go for it. However, I'd be like, okay, so what steps are you taking to make that happen?
exactly.
Like to make like I have like vision boards and all of these things, and I have short-term goals and long-term goals, and I crushed 4 long-term goals this year so far. And I'm like, wow,
You,
you know.
wow.
So, because I work on them, I work towards them, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what do you truly, truly, truly want to change? What do you really, really want to do? And what steps are you taking? Well, I want to learn how to be a teacher, let's say. Okay, what courses are you taking, or what degree are you going to work towards? I can't give you a teaching degree, you know what I mean? So we have to make these changes ourselves. And because the only thing in the world that's constant is change. So it's
Yeah.
constantly we're working through things as it is, which is, challenging up and down. But start writing down, what is it I want? Don't go by, oh, you have to be a doctor, when I'm like, you know what? I want to be like a ballerina. Why would you be a doctor if your true desired passion wants to be a ballerina?
Right. Right.
I mean, like, it's balance. Life is balance. Life is balancing and stuff like that. So it's really important to stay true to who you are, because if you start being somebody else, or like copying other people, or that's going to crash on you, because you are not at that vibrational frequency to hold it up. It's going to
Mm.
crash, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, be yourself, be authentic, and follow what you're really good at and what you're really passionate about, and new doors will start to open, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, wow, of
Yeah.
course, because you're being yourself and you're being authentic.
And this is one of my little secrets. When I'm not sure what kind of change I want to make, I get out a big black garbage bag, the big ones, and I set the timer for 10 minutes, and I run around the house and I throw out or donate everything that I can in 10 minutes. And then I take it to the Goodwill, and I just made some space in my world. And now
Yeah.
I have opportunity for some glimmers of what I might possibly want to do to come in.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, clearing the clutter is so important, because when we have a cluttered place or environment or vehicle, it shows you where your mind is at. So
Yeah.
decluttering really helps and really makes the difference, because how we, resolve situations, how we declutter in certain things, you have to do what feels right for you. Not everybody's going to be running around with a garbage bag, right?
Mhm.
But you know what? It's like, if that works for you, absolutely, I'd say then that is amazing. That's exactly what you need to do. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Or,
I
or
think we're down towards the end of the show here. Gosh.
Oh wow.
it goes
Yeah.
so fast.
I
It goes so,
know. I
I
I
know.
know. I
And
know
one,
it's
But
I wanted to say one other thing, because there were some people who were looking for love and romance in Florence Scovel Shin's book, The Art of Life and How to Play It. When she wanted a mate to come in, she set the dining room table for two every night. She was only there. She set the table. She ate. She took both dishes up, washed them, and did that because she was telling the universe, look, I have opening for this.
yes.
So, another
Yeah.
good tip.
Yeah.
Jen,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
have.
good to see you.
Oh, it's always awesome to see you
well,
guys. You know
well,
what I
let
mean? Like it's been a long time and such, and things are just been really crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
crazy.
And let people know where they can get a hold of you because
Well,
this needs to continue.
yeah, I mean, like if somebody wants to book a reading with me, the best way is to go to my website, soulworkwithjenny.com, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free for goodness sakes,
Oh, yeah.
because I do weekly cosmic vibes videos and so on. I'll do free readings. There's a lot of things, and there's more things I'm going to be adding on to that. And I'll tell you what's going to happen every single day. What days to work on this, what days to not work on that, and so on. Instagram, Jeni Ji Cousins. I also do photography and such like that. And as like a hobby and such like that. But I've met like amazing people and incredible people with new opportunities coming with that as well. And it's just you'll see me out there, and just it's like stop by, say hi, follow me on Instagram, I'll follow you back, like I'm all over.
Great, Jen. So great. And I got to tell you guys, if this is your first experience with Jeni, we've known Jeni for several years now. Jeni is always spot on. That is why I was so magnetized to her, and we're still really good friends as a result of that. So
Oh yeah.
Jeni,
Oh yeah.
always spot on, always. So that's my
Thank you.
truth, and I'm taking it with me.
Yeah.
If I'm in trouble, I'll say I'm pleading the fifth, right? But but thank you.
Yes.
It's always so much fun. Always, always so much fun to be here, to be a part of you guys.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you very much for being with us, and know we're gonna want you to come back.
Oh, you know where I'm at.
Yeah.
And now I'm
All
more
right.
settled with my move and everything, right? You know where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
great.
Well, thank you very much, and for all the watchers and listeners out there, be good to each other. Until next time. Also, I forgot to say, if you're on YouTube right now, please subscribe because that will help us a lot. Thank you.
To Jenny too.